What's up, guys? This is Bastian here, looking at a Flesh and Blood Dromai Blitz deck that we're going to be ripping open here. I'm really excited about this one. I recently started to look into Flesh and Blood, and I love the idea that you can just pick up a Blitz deck. And you know what? I am just going to probably continue doing that. I have absolutely no desire to play constructed. I'm just going to sleeve these up and hopefully, if time allows, get a jam in or two with my friends if we get around learning how to play the game. I do have a little bit of an inkling. I've particularly been looking at my Bolton Blitz deck. I've got all the Monarch decks and I got Fi as well. But today I'm going to look at Dromai because I've heard that she summons dragons and I do like dragons. So, first of all, I don't know, something that I always kind of think about is the smell of the cards. Like when you buy a new book or you buy a magazine, you kind of smell the cards. These cards have an interesting kind of smell to them. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm a massive fan, but it's like it's not off-putting. It's just different. Haven't smelt it before. So basically, these Blitz decks, the idea behind them is that you're running the young version of your pre-established characters. And what that means is that you start off with normally 20 life, although I've seen some of the latest ones drop that life a little bit to like 19 or 17. Now Dromai is rainbow foil. Don't know how well that comes through. A little bit there. There are two types of foils. The chase foils are like the old From the Vault series in Magic. If you remember those are called cold foils, and these are what they call rainbow foils. So what Dromai says is that you have a hand size of 4 and you have 20 health. Draconic Illusionist Hero, young version, as I said, the old versions, they're different character cards. Old versions would be like 40 health, and that's the constructed 60 card decks, and takes something around a half an hour, I guess, to play them, depending from what kind of deck you're running though, and who you're running against. So that's very subjective to say that those are 30 minutes. They still could take a lot less amount of time. So what Dromai does, whenever you pitch a red card, create an ash token. So there are 2 ash tokens here. Yeah, 2 ash tokens. I don't know if that's enough. And these are double-sided. You get a how to play. And then an ether ash wing, which I think is what you can transform your ashes to with Dromai. So red card means what's the top there. So there's a few blues now that you can see, and then more reds, and red, 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 red. Obviously, they're all like reds, so you can almost always create an ash token, which is pretty cool. These are pre-constructed, but they're like not. I don't think they're underpowered. I think they are well balanced. Yeah, of course, the idea is that you can always make these much stronger, but that's of course when the money spending really starts. Not that Flesh and Blood is that expensive. If you want the chase beautiful special design cards, then yeah, it can be quite expensive. But apparently, getting the game pieces, most of them are reasonable. Anyway, so whenever you pitch a red card, which means that you pitch a red card that gives you costs to play with. If you've played a red card this turn, dragons you control have go again while attacking. So we will be wanting to put out dragons here. I don't know where they are. They will be in the deck somewhere. We'll find them. We'll have a look at them. Maybe these are. Wait, hold on. So we've seen the how to play. Dromai is a combo control deck. Bide your time, building up ash while you defend heavily. Rake the Embers plus Silken Form plus Red Hot, paid for by Deep Blue. That's your key to the combo. That's your main combo. Amass a horde of ash wings to hit Rupture and set the arena ablaze. This is a 4 out of 5 difficulty out of a 5, so maybe not the best first one to pick up. But as I said, first one I was looking at was Boltin, and Boltin is seeming to be fairly easy to play. So Ether Ashwing, and oh yeah, right, there you go. So Ash, 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 and then 4 of these ashes are Ether Ashwings, which have Arcane Barricade 1. If your hero would be dealt arcane damage, you may pay 1 to prevent 1 of that damage. And these are dragon allies. So these are little dragons, little dragonlings, Ether Ashwings. They are dragons, yeah. 4 limbs and 2 wings. Alright, so that's what Dromai is starting to do, and you get really cool kind of stuff here, because actually reminds me a lot of Dungeons and Dragons in many ways, where you got your character and your character is kitted up. So her weapon is a two-handed weapon, and I know that because it says there 2H. The Storm of Sandical. Dragon allies you control have once per turn action for free attack. So these would be able to once per turn attack as a free action, which is quite mind-blowing, because normally to attack does cost you an action, and you only have one action, and that's what you're trying to chain with go again cards. So all your dragons, as long as you have this in play, once per turn, they can all attack for free. Wow, it's pretty cool. That's really, really cool, actually. She has the Ironside Helm. When you defend with Ironside Helm, you may pay 1. If you do, it gains +2 defense, and when the combat chain closes, destroy Ironhide Helm. This is quite usual for the equipment. As far as I know, pretty much all the equipment is like a one-time use, except the weapons, and clearly some of the more expensive ones. This looks like the Professor's vest, and they're actually doing a set of 4 Blitz decks with a neoprene playman that's going to be coming out soon, which was designed in collaboration with the Professor. It's a massive shout out to the Prof. I think that's really, really cool. So this is for the chest. Action, put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck, destroy the blue, and you gain 3 resources and go again. So this is the big cash in. Let's make extra dough. We got Silken Form. This is for the arms. Instant effect, destroy Silken Form, transform target ash you control into an Ether Ash Wing. So you do this into that. And it has Quell 1. If your hero would be dealt damage, you may pay 1 to prevent 1 of the damage if you do destroy Silken Form at the beginning of the end phase. That's pretty cool. You can, I guess you can Quell, and then you can still use it as an instant before it would go away. Maybe I'm wrong. I still haven't quite worked out exactly what the turn order is in this game. It's that one has got me eluded a little bit. I must admit. It's definitely not an easy learning curve with this game, but I think once you get it, it's really cool. It's just that every deck has its own thing. It's not very generic. You're actually bound by many things that you can or can't have in a deck, and what you can or can't do in a deck. Okay, so for the leg, we got Ironhide Legs. When you defend with Ironhide Legs, you may pay 1 if you do against +2, and when the combat chain closes, destroy Ironhide Legs. It's basically like the helm, just for your leg form, for her leg. Okay, so obviously pretty much all the cards are red here. So first of all, we got 2 copies of Red Hot, which is a Dromai or 5 specialization. And if these came with mentors, which I don't think they do, but if you can sneak a mentor in here, then you would be able to use the mentor to search for your Red Hot, which would be pretty cool. And it's Draconic Action Attack, 4 attack or 3 defense, cost you 2 to play it. The thing with red cards is that they only give you 1 resource if you pitch them, but that's what you got deep blue for, I guess. Rupture, if Red Hot is played as Chainlink 4 or higher, it has, when you attack with this, reveal the top X cards of your deck, where X is the number of Draconic chain links you control. Deal damage equal to the number of red cards revealed this way to any target, then shuffle. Draconic chain links, so that's a Draconic card. As many of them as you have up in the running chain is how many cards you can look at. It's a bit complicated, but when you get your head around it, it's pretty cool actually. Lava Burst, again, red card, doesn't cost you anything to play. 2, 3 Rupture, if Lava Burst is played as a Chain Link 4 or higher, it has +3 attack, so synergizes well with Red Hot. Rake the Embers, create an Ash token, then transform up to 3 Ash you control into Ether Ash Wings. It's fantastic. That's exactly one of the things you want to do here. And go again. And the go again is great because, well, Dragon allies you control have once per turn action, 0 cost to attack. No, I think you still have to use your action for it. Okay, surely there's a combo there somewhere to make them all be able to attack. Billowing Mirage, 1 cost, 1 pitch. When you attack with Billowing Mirage, transform up to 1 Ash you control into an Ether Ash Ring, go again. So yeah, basically Rake the Embers, but I think this is better because you can also use it as an attack. You can also use it to defend. I do think that if it's an action, if you want to use an action to defend with, then you have to pay the cost, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that. It's quite a lot to get in. Skittering Sands, same story. Transform target Ash you control into an Ether Ash Ring, gains +3 until the end of the turn. This is pretty cool. You swing with an Ether Ash Wing, you swing for 4 with it because he has go again, so you can kind of like Rake the Embers, transform up to 3 of your ashes, then Skittering Sands, give one of your Ash Wings +3, go again, and then you attack with it for 4, something like that. That could easily happen. Dust Up. When Dust Up hits, create an Ash token, transform up to 1 Ash you control into an Ether Ash Wing. Same story as before, but now this one has to hit. 2 copies of that. Junebreaker, Senpai. This is a Draconic Illusion action attack. Phantasm, when this is defended by non-illusionist attack action card with 6 or more attack, destroy this and close the combat chain. When Junebreaker Senpai is destroyed, create an Ash token. So everything creates Ash up until this point, which is cool. I don't think we get any dragons in this. Besides our Ether Ash Wings, which do seem a little bit weak, I must admit. Okay, Amber Moor Senpai, 8 attack, that's big. Phantasm, same story as with Junebreaker Senpai. When Amber Moor Senpai is destroyed, create an Ash token. Nothing new, obviously these all pretty much do something. Create or transform Ash. When you attack with Sweeping Blow, create an Ash token, go again. That's not bad at all. And then we also have Sweeping Blow in blue. So that's the difference, that basically you can have in Blitz decks, you can have 2 of the same card, but you can have different versions. Sweeping Blow exists in red, blue, and also yellow. The yellow would be the one that you can pitch for 2, and then it probably has an attack of 2, because if you can pitch for 1, it's got high attack, and the more you can pitch them for, the lower the attack they have. That's how these cards tend to work. Spears of Surreality, Phantasm, and it's just a big attack, go again. 2 copies of that, again it's a record. Enigma, Chimera, Phantasm, again same story, but it's an 8 attack, which is huge. So you get these great illusionist attacks in, and if you haven't looked at my Magic the Gathering Modern Illusion deck profile yet, then please do so. Ravenous Rebel, When you attack with Ravenous Rebel, reveal the top card of your deck. Ravenous Rebel gets minus X attack, where X is the pitch value of the card revealed this way. It's fantastic because most of our cards actually have a very low pitch value, which is in itself not necessarily great, but it's really great for a 5/0 cost 5 attack. It's fantastic with Go Again, so that's very clever. Wounding Blow. This does nothing, it's just a 0 cost 4 attack or 3 defense, so that's not bad. Critical Strike, same story. I mean, you could really upgrade this deck just by taking those out and giving yourself better dragons. Critical Strike 1 cost for 5, so just a little bit better, but obviously more expensive. However, you can use that 1 pitch that you have for Critical Strike. Brutal Assault, this is a 2 cost, difficult to play, but it is a 6. I think it's difficult to play in this deck because you literally have, so far what we've seen is the blue sweeping blow is the only thing that gives you more than 1, or the deep blue. Yeah, that's a bit concerning actually. Like, it seems like a very slow. I could see this being sped up, being a much quicker deck. Okay, this one heals you for 3. That's cool, especially because obviously, as per the how to play, you're defending heavily at the beginning of the game and building up ashes and ash wings. 2 healing bombs, 2 copies of Sigil of Solace, which is what we call a functional reprint, except that this is an action, this is an instant, so you can actually defend for 2 with this. You're still probably better off using it for the gain 3 than the defend 2. Never mind. Oasis Respite. Prevent the next 4 damage that would be dealt to target hero this turn by a source of your choice. If they have less life than each other hero, they may gain 1 life or health. It's pretty cool. Again, it's like gives you prevention and it gives you a bit of a heal. And then finally we got 2 copies of Sink Below. You may put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw a card. So just a little bit generic defense reaction. You can defend for 4, and you can circulate a couple of cards out of your hand. Now, I don't know if the other decks are better powered, and I've never played Dromai. Obviously, just looking at what we have here, these Ether Ashwings are very, very low powered. And if these are supposed to be dealing the big damage, I don't think there's like enough cards in here to make it happen. But you know, I might be wrong. But anyway, I don't think this in itself seems to be particularly difficult to play. I think the difficult part is surviving. By the time you can start to just deal damage with that 1 Ashwing, that you're probably going to be able to do. But this is the Dromai deck. I really enjoyed opening this with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it too. This is a noob just looking at these cards with a fresh set of minds in towards Flesh and Blood. Again, I love the fact that it's a bit like Dungeons and Dragons, that you got your hero kitted out. Up until next time, guys. Bustin' signing out. Peace.